Hi, I'm Brad Myers, and I'm going to be talking about my research at the intersection of HCI and software engineering. We're working at improving the experience for individual developers, and the way we're doing this is by applying user interface or human-computer interaction techniques. One way of thinking about programming is that it's a way a person can express their plan that's in their head in a way that the computer can understand it. And expressing it this way makes it clear that programming is a human activity. And so if we made this task of doing this translation to the way computers work, then if we could make that easier, one way to do that would be to make it more natural. That means closer to the way people think. So we're looking at both novice programmers and professional programmers, and also a new class of programmers we call end user programmers, which is this very large collection of people who program because they have to and not necessarily because they want to. If you've heard of UX for user experience, we call this DevX or DX for developer experience. So just to give you some example projects that my group has done over many years, Stephen Oney was a PhD student who graduated in 2015, is now on the faculty at the University of Michigan. And he had this really fun project to combine what's called state transition diagrams that show what happens over time with a spreadsheet to show how these tasks should be connected together. And in his study, he showed that this was dramatically easier than using JavaScript, and he called his system interstate because it had multiple states. Another example is my current senior student, Mary Beth Carey. Her system is called Verdant, and she hopes to graduate this coming spring. And one of the key observations is that people who do data analysis for a living, who often are called data scientists, don't program in the way that regular programmers do. In fact, they do what we call exploratory programming, where they try to figure out what they're doing while they're programming it, rather than knowing in advance. And so what we are doing in this project is looking at how we can make this exploration easier by letting you see what you've done in the past and to backtrack to what you did in the past if that turned out to be better. And then I have a big project that's been going on for many years with two current PhD students working on it, Amber Horvath in the HCII, as well as Daye Nam, who's a PhD student in a different department called the Institute for Software Research. We're studying what we call APIs, Application Programming Interfaces, which are the libraries and toolkits and frameworks out of which all software is built today, including things like web services and middleware. So it turns out that APIs are very important to business. They are worth a lot of money. Maybe you've seen AWS advertising their APIs in football games. So how can we make the APIs themselves and the documentation and the tools around them a lot better for people? And while you're learning things with APIs, how can we help programmers take notes and keep track of what they're doing? I've had many PhD students over the years, 19 of them so far, 6 of whom have been women. And one thing very gratifying of being faculty is that all of these students have done really wonderful, and many of them have gone on to be faculty. And as you can see on the right, those students who become faculty have had students of their own, and it goes down to a depth of 6 different levels of people who have students, and those people have students. Overall, of this 238 people who are my academic descendants, 46 of them are currently faculty. Thank you.